Can you link it? I actually have some people who are asking since
Yeah, I got
I
you.
can't stream it. Awesome, thank you.
Alright, time to do my warm-ups.
If you're
Apologies,
streaming it,
people
I would
watching.
like to watch.
Can you link it?
Sit in dark on me.
I couldn't save him. There's nothing I could do.
We have 7 bodies that have dropped out.
Alright, warm-ups.
I recommend putting up push to talk to. If you don't have it.
Cool.
Now,
I do have push to talk on, so we are good.
I'll keep mine on, but it makes it easier for everyone else.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, si, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
I like this. Let's get some more snaps. Bring in those snaps.
Oh, snap!
Is that what it goes?
Oh, snap!
When I come into the club, step aside.
All right. Oi! In the right LG, thank you.
Actually, in the end beginning.
Okay, cool.
Years
Okay, got
before many of the events that unfold into our adventures to their timeline, the Kate, throw in your push talk for me.
How do I do that?
If there's a little cog on Discord, real quick. If you click it, use your settings, go to voice, and then you click voice activity, and you click it to push to talk. That way, there's no like other background noises. As I said, many years before our brave adventures that take place in the current past, there was another member who had joined the party. A few members, actually. Their origins lay in a little bit of mystery and distrust, and today we fall upon that story this day. Kate, make sure you set your push to talk. I know I keep breaking character. Push to talk, but something on like your keypad, so when you need to just click it. During the earlier ages of our faithful elf companion known as Quilleth, she was a member of the Cormarian Elven Court, essentially a grand elven empire, something of grand stature, very noble and very welcoming to not all of us per se, but very respected in the world. Something of note was one of Quilleth's father had recently received essentially a vision of sorts from an Mascari mage. The Mascaris were these powerful race of wizards of humans and elves, species that travel through the portals, has great knowledge, and chose to return in the coming days. Quilleth's father, in excitement and rejoice of the returning of grand artistic minds and skillful engineers, welcomed back these people and decided to hold a grand celebration of gathering of grand nobles of all sorts. Dwarves,
thank you, Mr.
elves, gnomes, dragonborn, half-dragon, many other species were welcome. Unbeknownst to most of the human kingdom, still very early in their growth. All recovering from the fateful war with the gods, they were not deemed too worthy to be invited. Quilleth, being more of her adventurous spirit and still very young in her elven age, took upon herself to get assembling to travel out one last time before the gathering for the party of the opening of the portal. As she adjusted herself and gained herself, she entered into a vast room, porcelain, almost bone-white ivory floors, clean and natural plants growing around, a custom thing she had seen so many times before. As she walked through there, she had noticed a dwarf, not too much in age, but fairly young, almost with a very nice, very healthy growth, and very bronzed thing, as he was unloading a large shipment of ale, probably for the party. The dwarf kind of double-backed and looked towards her, as she seemed to be the only elf who didn't seem to be wearing a fancy long dress or something like that. Instead, taking on the apparel of a leather outfit with a brief tunic and a bow on her back.
What now are you looking at?
And Kate, this is where you roleplay as your character now. I don't know if she put her push to talk on.
Is she just intimidated by Drip?
She might be. She's new to it. She's new.
Drips like this all the time.
Kate, when you did push to talk, what key did you set it to? Send me a PM real quick. Okay, so what you're going to do, Kate, when you click your gear, and you go to voice, and you click voice activity, click push to talk, and then when you see push to talk to the right of it, there should be like a button. Click that, and then click the key once. And then that's going to be the key that you're going to push.
Is it doing it now?
There you go. Yep. Alright, so your character right now is going on her last expansion to go into the deeper part of the Elven Court, which is uncharted territory in the Cormerithian woods. This dwarf, very out of the ordinary because you've never seen a dwarf, is just kind of looking at you. And Drip, you can describe your character if you wish.
Alright, so standing at about 4'2", my dwarf stands there. His head is bald, but he has a very, very rich red beard. In the very center of his forehead is a rune. Don't know how well you are in, like, your character is in Lorecraft, but, I mean, if you...
No, she's new. Like I said, her elf is very young. She's never seen a dwarf.
So she wouldn't recognize it, but anyone else who might... I'm just going to say, if you roll above a 15 on a lore check for me, whenever we meet, you'll be able to recognize it. I'll shoot you a message. Mm-hmm. And for people at home, it's the Rune of Protection.
So, like I said, So, Drip, you can repeat what you said before.
What now are you looking at?
What's that on your forehead?
You fucking insulting my kidneys! This is the symbol of protection. This prevents any of your stupid elvish magic from getting into my head.
Oh, that's a lot less that can get into that head of yours then.
You want me to box you in the mouth?
The two elven people who were helping you to unload the ale kind of like look at each other kind of for a minute and kind of tilt their heads before they glance over to you. Before glancing down towards you, Drip, and speaking very softly, not like just being like, this is who, they're more of like, excuse me. They go, excuse me, Master Oristar, this is daughter Quillith of the Zelosens family, the ones who invited you. Forgive her, she's quite young in her age, though. She's never actually, I believe, witnessed a dwarf in its magnificence.
Oh, it's about time. She needs to see what a real man looks like, not you pansy else. Hey, don't drop my bloody owl.
The one elf is kind of like trying to barrel this huge barrel of dwarven ale, like his little twiggy arms trying to hold the thing up.
I moved the ale over.
And I sat back unloading my wagon, ignoring the noble lady elf chick.
Mm-hmm. As you kind of adjust yourself and go, that was very rude for a very short-looking thing. You kind of wander off to yourself. As you
For
keep walking
short-looking
down the thing, you notice one of the dwarven, no, I won't say not dwarven, excuse me, the elven guards known as Lorvrith, a decent-looking elven guard. He doesn't see much, wearing typical elven plate armor as he kind of stands at attention. He kind of glances towards you for a minute before tilting his head and kind of giving a bow of respect towards you because, you know, you are nobility in a sense. Marty, you can chime in.
I do not. I just watch.
You just watch her? Okay.
Just
Oh.
making sure everything's safe.
As you continue down your pathway
I
on
love
the
you
long
guys. Thank you for showing
ivory
up, guys.
bridge, essentially, you finally come into the place where you finally hit soil. Glancing upon to this dark, luscious wood, covered these giant big trees, as you see, more like great redwoods in a sense, but tall and branch-like, spreading off, giving a wonderful canopy above you. A nice shade. Everything feels cool, but not cold because it's just, it lets in just enough light. As you begin to pick up your feet and skip across the leaves for a minute before walking down the path. As you tender down to the path and you wandering in, you finally come to the point which is known to the deep wood, essentially Cormac. This wood is still uncharted and is your duty as you are the elven reclamation service, essentially, to reclaiming old lost elven artifacts. This is your duty to go find them. Alas, you take your final breath and descend into the wood. I'll zoom you guys out for a minute. Okay, after traveling for a good few hours, essentially, I would say, I need Mr. Cicero to roll a stealth check.
One sec, I closed my page. And
Yep. You good. Like I said, there's gonna be faults because it's your first time. Is your first time? So the mad god Sheogorath to the champion of madness himself. And pronounce cheese to all men and women. Trudging along into the woods, you finally hear a snap of a branch, not too far off. A little heavier than usual animals. Okay. Not too far off before you kind of glance around keenly, because this is the wood where anything can happen. There are no elves here that closely watch over you. There are no magical wards that protect you. You are on your own, your wit and your spirit. Essentially, your character would be standing here, and you would have heard the noise come from over here. I know his piece is right there. Hold up. You would hear the sound come from over there. What would you like to do?
I cautiously approach where the sound was coming from, keeping my bow at ready.
Roll me a stealth check then, please. So what you need to do is you need to open up your character sheet again. And you're going to have that up. Like, I would just keep it off to the side kind of thing. And you're going to go to skills, and then there's going to be a little dice next to stealth, and then you're going to click that. You find it?
What was it saying that I click again?
Stealth. There should, right to the left of it, there should be a dice. Click that. That's all you have to do. So you took 7. Cicero, roll me a perception. Okay. As you stealthily walk upon the bush, you notice, not too far ahead, but a man, a human actually, which you've heard about. You haven't seen them usually out this far into your woods, especially in Clemarither, which essentially is elven territory.